Hey guys, Megadrew here from the Hub, back with another video, and back to fanfiction. I don't know whether I regret it or not. I mean, yeah, I regret it because it's fanfiction, but at the same time, it's Jack Daddy, and I swear every Jack on the internet is just somehow Daddy. Oh, that was a terrible way to start the video. Oh well, no turning back now. I just have to hope that this audio isn't shitty because I don't know what volume I'm speaking at, or how close to the camera I am because I keep moving my head about like a madman. Anyway, I have been reading Handsome Jack X Reader, and I've noticed particularly with X Reader stories that they do not try to stick to the original characters. Generally they'll put references in to things that definitely have been said and try to sort of make it similar. But it's like teetering on the edge, like you got the components there to make that character right, but you have no idea what this character acts like, and very little idea, and you can only guess what's going on through their head. That just becomes a mess. The closest one. The worst part is that the closest I got to someone actually writing Jack as Jack, that wasn't Jack before the pre-sequel happened. So when Jack was like more sane, the closest I got to Jack as Jack was Smut, which was very uncomfortable, and I wish it to never grace my eyes again. Which is that's just an understatement. I hate Smut. Why would you do that? Generally, there's a formula. You either insert yourself into Tales from the Borderlands. By that I mean you're probably just with Reese and Vaughn. That's it. Or you're like around pre-sequel time. Well, like not in the pre-sequel, but like around that time, which makes it weird when your absence is early, even though you seem to be in a happy relationship. So, And then there's after all of the Borderlands games. So all 4 Borderlands games after those. And it's normally like you have some connection to Reese and Vaughn, and you get like some sort of device that contains Jack AI from the Echo Eye that Reese used to wear. And then somehow you can see Jack. Like in one it was a watch. To be fair, that watch was pretty clever, but like it said that Reese wore that watch all the time, which is weird because Reese wanna see Jack all the time. Like he specifically got the option to either keep or break the eye, and most people break the eye, so canonically it's broken. Oof, I have stretch marks. Oof, that's gross. Ugh, that's nasty. That be nasty. Okay, I'm getting distracted. And then sometimes you just get complete AU. So one was a teacher AU where Jackaboy was a teacher, which I think was pretty interesting. Apart from the fact that they made the main character cut and get bullied. So yeah, that was that. And then there's the ones that are completely devoid of being involved with any of the games that aren't AUs. So ones either set before the pre-sequel, or like ones that are after, even though they have character interactions with like Reese and Vaughn or whatever, it's still after the game or way before them. And then there's the one set during the games, and it's not like, well, there's set during the games, and then there's one where you're very directly involved with the plot of the games, which I think is just wrong. Like, you can have your AUs where you're set in the game, fine, but if your AU is where the only thing you change is the fact that you exist and Jack is your daddy, I don't think that really counts. as an AU. That counts as just like, oh mate, let's slap a character in this. Did I break my USB stick? Oh, getting distracted. And there's another one. What's the other one? Yeah, basically just those four. And the worst thing is, like, adding things that never existed. So if you said it during the games, fine, I guess I can bend it a little bit. Your character exists now. But sometimes they'll add in things that completely make the plot devoid. So let me tell you about this one Handsome Jack X3 that I read. It was like with Jack in the hologram, and then just a random character that happened to be friend with Yvette of Recent Born as well. But what happened was Jack mentioned that he had a reanimation machine, which kind of devoids the plot of Jack tricking Reese into Hyperion, into Helios, going into his office just to get him in the chair and put him in the exoskeleton so Jack could control Reese. They kind of like defeat that entire plot. Because Jack specifically said, like, if I die, mate, my plan is I'm gonna shove myself into this exoskeleton and live forever. That was his plan. Having a reanimation machine just... Why didn't Jack use the Hyperion UU machine? Why didn't he just do that? That would make so much more sense. Just like, oh mate, I'm digitized Jack now. Oof, and I'm still ruling you. I guess that's more like just because games have respawn mechanics. Yeah, okay, it's not canon. And Hyperion doesn't really have the tech to reanimate you like that. If you're like talking about, so there's game canon and in the game's world canon. So in the game canon, you need something to respawn you. So that machine is the Hyperion UU machine. And in the game's world canon, you kind of just die, because that's how, like, people like Jack don't respawn. Because the Hyperion UU is a game canon, but not technically in the world's game canon. It might be. I'll check that now, actually. Okay, so basically I have concluded that people are mixed on the subject. I am saying that they are not canon, but if they are canon, then they are specific to the use of Vault Hunters. And if you stop being a Vault Hunter, then you can no longer use them. So basically, Hyperion UU, it's not canon, but if it is, then only Vault Hunters can use them. Anyway, back to the stories. So the one I was reading, it breaks the canon. Like, you can break the canon if it's an AU, but if the only thing you change is the fact that your character exists, then I ain't really gonna have any of that. It's just... being a fan of the game and wanting to write a fanfic for someone, for yourself, that's perfectly fine. You do you, and it's a good way for writers to test their writing capabilities. However, if you care enough about the game to write fan fiction about it, you shouldn't cherry pick what you want and cherry pick what you want to change. You should keep it consistent. So if you just want to add your character into the main games, fine, do that. Just don't change the plot because of that. For example, in the same story where Jack had a reanimation machine, the added character also stun batoned Yvette, but later Yvette was walking around just fine. Now you think that since she was stun baton, she'd be out for at least longer than she was, especially since there seemed to be no larger passage of time than 5 minutes. So, realistically, Yvette should still be knocked out, I think. Because otherwise it's just unnecessary to add that feature. And then in the teacher one, the complete AU, at the end it told me how to hard reset a Windows PC. And one of my notes said, I want to do that after reading these. To be fair, I need to cleanse my computer. Anyway, now I'm gonna just like read some of my notes and then end of this video. So, in chapter 1, you already broke the plot because your friends were your vet, Reese and Vaughn. Like, it makes me mad because you would have helped during the Pandora stuff, but you didn't because it's not in the game. AUs or after the game only Plex. Reese doesn't sound like Reese. Reese, me daddy. Also, Jack would never say bro. He would more likely point out the fact that Reese said he would trust him if the player chose for Reese to say that. Something more like if he asked about a friend. Why didn't you tell me about this friend of yours, kiddo? I thought you trusted me. Then Reese would tell Jack that he didn't think Jack wouldn't care to stick to the office script of, like, having that little friction. And then Jack would be like, come on, Reese, have you seen her? I mean, she's your friend, but sometimes I think it's hard for you to see the bigger picture. Just look at her body. Something like that. Can Jack just get inside of Reese's body and control it? I want a fanfic where that happens. Daddy Reese and Daddy Jack. Okay, I'm pretty sure Okay, I'm pretty sure Jack would never call himself Daddy or like to be called Daddy because of his kid. Is John literally only there to make Jack jealous? That's my prediction. Also, Jack's name is John. Oof, Jack's gonna be triggered. Hey, I was right. John doesn't like John. Jack wouldn't say son. He has no care for acting like Vasquez. And ha! Jack got big libido. Ha! Bulging forearm muscles. No, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty hard right now. Jack wouldn't say that, but also that fucking... the fuck? Yeah, this is Mega Trio from the Hub signing out. I can't tell whether I regret this or not. Because this is a two-parter. Next week, I'm writing my own fanfic and I'm reading it. Well, maybe not next week. Either next week or the week after. At some point. Wait, this is Mega Trio from the Hub signing out. Smash the like button. Make love to the subscribe button. Just give me green analytics, please. Me gusta. Thank you.